Chapter 19. Iggy's hand-drawn blueprint showed the rooms they had visited. He pointed to a blank area in the middle of the second floor. Architects don't leave blank parts in a house, he said. It has to be a secret room. They followed the blueprint to a second-floor hallway with many bedroom doorways to the right, but no doors to the left. The bedrooms on the right have windows to the yard, said Ada, so the secret room has to be on the left wall. But where? Asked Sophia. There were 8 panels along the hallway. The panels were covered with complicated Art Nouveau wallpaper with hundreds of flowers and ice cream cones. That's a lot of ice cream cones, said Miss Weatherby. The kids spread out and searched for a keyhole, a switch, or a button. Anything that would open a hidden door. They found nothing. Sophia sat down and looked at the library book. Let's face it, said Aunt Bernice, the furniture is long gone. Do you think the caretaker took it, said Ada. Oh, no, said Aunt Bernice. Monsieur Glacé was a kind old man. He lived in a little cottage and gave candy to everyone he met. I remember him, said Iggy's father. He had a little beard and a green cap, and he always looked exactly the same. He did. I don't think he ever changed, said Aunt Bernice, and he always said the same thing. Happiness is the key to everything, said Aunt Bernice and Iggy's father at the same time. They laughed. Why did he always look the same? Asked Ada. I don't know, said Iggy's dad. He just always did. Just then Sophia popped up and ran to the others. Aha! She cried. Look at this one. She showed them another article. October 7th, 1918. It is a sad day in Blue River Creek. Our most famous citizen, Herbert Sherbert, creator of Green Goose ice cream, bids farewell to our fair city. Following the tragic loss of his beloved wife Candace and his daughter Honey, he is returning to France. He leaves behind a grateful town and many happy customers. His 70-year-old cousin Pierre Glacé will act as caretaker to the Sherbert house and estate. He will arrive tomorrow on the 3 o'clock train. The group studied the photo. Why would he have such a small suitcase for such a long trip? Said Mr. Weatherby. Why would he go to France in 1918? Said Agnes Lou. The First World War was going on. That would be dangerous. Why would Pierre Glacé arrive after Herbert Sherbert left? Said Iggy's mother. Wouldn't he want to see his cousin? Doesn't glacé mean ice cream in French? Asked Aunt Bernice. How could Pierre Glacé be 70 when he got here in 1918 and still be alive 50 years later and look the same? Asked Iggy's father. Look at us, said Aunt Bernice. We're all becoming questionnaires. Everybody laughed. Everybody but Iggy. Iggy looked sadly at the picture for a moment. Then he asked a simple question. Where is his cat? He asked. I'd never leave Bricks if I moved to France, said Iggy. Rosie looked worried. What if she started? Iggy knew what she was going to say. He thought about the cat statues near the old cottage. Were they statues or were they gravestones? He tried to remember the words on the statues. What were they? Whimsy and wonder and... His thoughts were interrupted by Agnes Lou. Bernice, she said, Herbert Sherbert wanted someone like you to have his house. Wouldn't he leave a clue about the secret room? Whimsy and wonder and what was it? I am confused about everything, said Miss Weatherby. As the word everything left her mouth, a different word entered Iggy's brain. Happiness. Happiness, he yelled. Whimsy and wonder and happiness. The group looked at him oddly. Happiness, he said, jumping up and down. The key to everything is happiness. What? Asked Ada. Herbert Sherbert left a clue, said Iggy. Where? Asked Aunt Bernice. Everywhere, said Iggy. Don't you see? Happiness is the key to everything. We know, said Rosie. That's his slogan. No, said Iggy. Happiness was his cat. Its grave is by the cottage. Oh my, said Aunt Bernice. Herbert Sherbert put that message on buildings all around town, in the original library and the train station. The important buildings where everyone would see it, said Iggy, and as part of the architecture. And his cousin said that to everyone, said Ada. Wait a minute, said Sophia. What if he wasn't? Wasn't what? Asked Ada. What if Pierre Glacé wasn't Herbert Sherbert's cousin? Sophia said. What if he was Herbert Sherbert? Think about it, she continued. What if Herbert Sherbert took a train from Blue River Creek one day and came back the next day in a disguise? He pretended not to speak much English so people wouldn't hear his voice. Except when he passed along the clue, said Iggy's father. Why did he hide the furniture? Asked Ada. To keep away thieves, said Miss Weatherby. A house full of expensive furniture and art from around the world would be quite a prize for thieves. Aunt Bernice put her hand to her mouth. Poor lonely soul, she said. He scared everyone away to protect the memory of his family. I can't imagine him sitting in that chair by the portrait all alone." "I don't think he was alone," said Iggy. "I think he had a cat." "I saw 3 cat statues by the cottage," Iggy said. "Happiness wasn't the only one, so maybe he always had cats." "If his cat was Happiness," said Ada, "what did the clue mean?" They stepped into the Thailand room and looked at the mural. The white cat stared back at them. Iggy stared at the cat's odd eyes. What was it trying to tell them? The green gemstones on the cat's painted collar seemed to sparkle in the afternoon light. Sophia looked closer at the collar. "That's so beautiful," she said. "The green gems are sitting on tiny ice cream cones. Maybe one of the green ice cream cones in the house is a switch, too." Aunt Bernice groaned. "It's no help at all," she said. "There are 1,000 little green ice cream cones on the walls and floors and ceilings of this house. We could spend years testing them all." They walked back to the hall. Iggy looked at his blueprint and at the hallway lined with panels. "It has to be here somewhere," he said. Iggy looked around. He frowned. He thought. Then he thought some more. "What did Clerk Clark say about the building permits?" he asked. "She said the last updates on the house were done here in 1918, said Sophia. "A few months before Candace and Honey Sherbert died," said Ada. "Someone did work after that," Iggy said. "Look." Iggy pointed to the panel of wallpaper behind Aunt Bernice. "Excuse me, it's ice cream, Iggy," she said, "just like the other panels." "No," said Iggy, "it's different." The pattern was complicated and filled with colored ice cream cones like the other panels, but it had sharp angles instead of winding curves. It was sleek and modern. "It's Art Deco," said Iggy's father. "Good gracious, Ignatius," said his mother. "It is." "So?" asked Sophia. "So," said Iggy's mom. "Art Deco was introduced to the world in 1925 in Paris. It wouldn't be on wallpaper before then." "So?" asked Rosie. "So," said Iggy. "This panel is newer than the others. Somebody put this wallpaper up after 1925. The door has to be behind this one." "Is there a green ice cream cone?" asked Ada. "Like on the cat's collar?" The tiny ice cream cones covered the panel. There were chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, lemon, orange, and green ones. They were covered with multicolored sprinkles. "They're everywhere," said Iggy. "It's not the ants—" "Wait," said Sophia. "Look at that cone." She pointed to a vanilla cone near the top. It was different from the others. Instead of white ice cream with green sprinkles, the cone contained one beautiful white Art Deco cat with a green jeweled collar. "That's it," said Iggy. "That's gotta be it." Ada handed the key to Aunt Bernice, who pushed it through the green spot on the cat's collar with a snap. "It's a keyhole," said Aunt Bernice. She turned the key. Snap, click. The panel swung open. "Zowie," said Ada. "You can say that again," said Aunt Bernice. "Zowie," said the questionnaires. Let's see how much we've got left. Ooh, one more chapter. The room was filled from floor to ceiling with stacks of chairs, tables, bed frames, mirrors, paintings, dishes, and statues. Everything needed to fit. Excuse me. Everything needed to furnish a mansion. In one corner stood a strange, brightly colored organ with long copper pipes. It was Herbert Sherbert's original ice cream cart, the invention that started it all. An iron and glass ceiling arched over the entire space. Only a few panes of glass were missing in the ceiling. A stack of wooden crates beneath one of the missing panes showed signs of water damage. They looked around in awe. "Look, Aunt Bernice," said Ada. A handwritten note sat on a small table. "Welcome, my friend. At last you are here. Did you have help? We all have help, if we are lucky. I was a very lucky man indeed. My life was full of love. When my loves left, I shut out the world. I did not want it here, melting away my memories like the ice cream in the sun. Perhaps I was foolish. Time does not stop because we wish it to. I did not know when you arrived, but if you have found this note, the time is right for the house to find a new life. Once this house echoed with laughter and joy. I hope that it will do so again for you. Although it's been silent for so many years, the love that dwelled within these walls still remains. Never forget, happiness is the key to everything. Welcome home. Herbert Pierre Glacé Sherbert."